Welcome to the Beautiful Me Club, where you can have yourself a ball, where you can find a lot of love. If you're stable, not so stable, whatever you have on your table, we're able to fix it, mend it, talk it out, cry it out, and shout. Leave your woes me, girl, I'm trying to make it, I guess I am alright. Leave your money tight, my man ain't right out in the wind tonight. We came here to party, to smile, to get your me on for a while, to get your groove back, honey child. So get your cute on, let's get wild. And beautiful me baby, that's what I call myself. I leave my attitude on the shelf. It's about me and no one else, but beautiful you baby. I'm talking dollars and not cents.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Somerville Line. My name is Maribeth Swan, and we have some wonderful interviews ahead tonight. We welcome Crystal Chandler, who is here with some ladies from Everyday Boston, Cara Solomon, Carmen Pola, and Gabbie Follett. Afterwards, Henry Parker will be interviewing a singer-songwriter and actress, Lovely Hoffman, so stick around.
Good evening, I'm Crystal Chandler, and I have here, just as Maribeth announced, we have Carmen Pola, Cara Solomon, and Gabbie Follett. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Now, you guys have just created this new website called Everyday Boston. So tell me a little bit about it, and what was the inspiration behind Everyday Boston?
So I guess I'll start. So Everyday Boston is essentially a website that uses storytelling to build community across the city. And so practically speaking, that means that we have a small team of story ambassadors, and those are people who live or grew up in Boston. And they go out into their neighborhoods and other neighborhoods across the city and sort of collect interviews from people they think are interesting and important. And then I have training as a journalist and former newspaper reporter, and so I work with them both on the interviewing and then on the shaping of the stories. Then we put them on the website, and our motto is a portrait of the people of Boston by the people of Boston.
Awesome. So what inspired you to really begin this from scratch?
Yeah, so I spent several years as a newspaper reporter, as I mentioned, at the Hartford Courant and the Seattle Times. And over the years, I just heard a lot of concerns from people in the community about the way that they were being covered and the way that their communities were being represented in the media, and I shared those concerns. Moving back to Boston really just had a sense that the city was far more vital and exciting in its diversity than really was being represented in the media. So I felt like I could write those stories myself if I tried, but it felt much better to actually try and teach people who lived or grew up in the city how to do it for themselves, and you're just going to get sort of just a wonderful portrait, essentially, of who lives in the city. So,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. So, Gabbie, how did you get involved with Everyday Boston?
Yeah, so Cara and I worked together, and I saw that she had a real passion for storytelling and really getting to know people and trying to find a bond of the human experience. So Cara told me about this project that she wanted to develop a year ago, and I was really excited, and I was waiting for her to kind of ask me to be on the project. And I was like, I don't know if I should intrude. I'm like, is this her like project baby? Does she want someone else to be involved? But she took me into her office, and then we sat down and started talking about this, and she's like, do you want to be a story ambassador? I was like, yes, of course. She just does a really great job of empowering the community. I feel like I grew up in Dorchester, and there's like a lot of bad press about Dorchester, about violence, and what I found really inspiring about Cara and this project is that we're not exploiting people's stories, we're rather giving them agency and trying to connect people throughout entire communities around Boston through the human experience. So I'm really glad and really privileged to be part of this project with all of you.
And what about you, Carmen? How did you get wrapped up in Everyday Boston?
Because I believe that this was much needed. This project is a need. No a show of stories, a need in our city because people that in reality needs this information have been completely ignored through the years. The way Cara has taught us how to do this, it includes compassion, a lot of truth, which we have never afford to have through the regular media. So that's how I got involved. I'm a community organizer all my life, and I believe in integrity, which this program has it. I believe that our communities need this support. And it needs not just, we should be a role model for other communities where there are people in need of this type of information involved.
Awesome. So we know that a lot of different websites and things like that have been popping up. There's the Humans of New York and, you know, like Portraits of America, and I'm pretty sure there's, you know, hundreds more out there. But what really differentiates Everyday Boston from all of those other pages out there?
I don't know anything about those two situations, but what I know about this project is that I see this project, as old as I am, but I'm going to see it, that it will be the base for change for the regular media that we pick up every day, that it will teach that in poor communities, on communities of color, there is a lot of positive that could be written in the writing media and also on television that is positive, that is building people, not to destroy. We like to build. We like to focus on the good of people, the good of a community. And I honestly believe on that.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, ladies?
Well, I would say that you know, one of the main differences is that that Everyday Boston revolves around the power of Gabbie and Carmen and George and Kathy, George and Kathy are not here, but Kathy grew up in Charlestown. Obviously, Gabbie said she grew up in Dorchester. Carmen's lived in Mission Hill for many, many years, and George is from Roxbury. And, you know, this team of story ambassadors, they know Boston inside and out. And so they're showing us sort of a view of the city that's not just a portrait for curiosity's sake. It's really a portrait designed to sort of bring the community together and sort of by pushing back against these stereotypes that the media has helped to create, and which can actually be very divisive, and we're living in very polarizing times already. So I think by sort of highlighting essentially the humanity of people all across the city, that is essentially our mission, and I think that's quite different from perhaps other websites. The mission is a civic-minded mission.
Awesome. So, I don't know, whoever wants to tell me about it, tell me a little bit about some of the interesting interviews that you guys have had.
Yeah, well, I can start.
Yeah.
One of my first interviews was with Mary Kavanaugh. She's from Dorchester, and she worked behind a bakery for several years, an Irish bakery. And so I was very, very nervous, and one of the things I love about Everyday Boston, it's not about parachuting in and getting a story. It's really working with us and story ambassadors on improving our interviewing skills. So I was extremely nervous, and Cara was there with me, coaching me along. And one of the things that I found is really rewarding is there's this moment when there's a silence within the story, and you really know there's something true and there's something really authentic about the story. Specifically with Mary Kavanaugh talking about the person I interviewed from Dorchester about, you know, living at home, going back to Dorchester and working after college and having loans. And then there was just kind of this experience in this moment where there was a connection. So that's one of the things that I found really, really helpful is how do you get to that connection, and we are guided along the way, and getting those skills is becoming actually very valuable in my life.
Awesome. And what about you, Carmen?
With me, my first interview was something else, because we were addressing an issue that has affected our communities for a long time. I was with Carlos talking about substance abuse, which is a very incredible issue. But the most important part of that was for him to open up and share with us what was good and what was bad about the experience and how he was willing to change. But most important to me was including an institution, which is the city of Boston, to provide us with a boat to do a trip. That brought a lot of happiness, a lot of respect for a community that has been completely forgotten, which has been the Latino community in Boston. We were able to share our history, our backgrounds, our confusion, but we had a good time. Come out of it was a good time, and it has brought it to the point that now the city of Boston Elderly Commission want to get it done again next year. So obviously the project is needed desperately
Definitely.
in the urban America.
Definitely. So I know we have a short video that we're actually going to play. So do you want to give a little, intro to your video, Carmen?
This video is senior citizens from the Latino community, Colo Robles. For the first time, many of them been downtown Boston. They had never been in a boat in their life. They're still talking about it since it's summer. Every time we plan something, this comes up. I didn't know that downtown, oh my God, that they have a beach where people water, oh my God. I mean, it was really educational for many of us that take for granted because we had not been exposed. So that's what you're gonna see.
Awesome. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Very nice video. So, Cara, tell us a little bit about some of the skills that, you're teaching, your story ambassadors.
Yeah, I'd love to. If I could just tack on a little bit to
Yeah,
what
definitely.
Carmen was saying before about that, and particularly about that video. That was just one of the highlights, I think, of the whole project for me, because Carmen, she'll never really brag, but she is essentially an icon in Boston. She's a community leader that is, who is extremely well respected in the city. And so she has sort of taken on this project and invited me and the rest of the team to various sort of events that she is involved in. And so this was an event that she had invited us to, and I went with Kathy, one of the other story ambassadors, and we spent the day essentially taking pictures. And so I just wanted to say that thank you, both of you, for introducing me to a city that I frankly would not see in media.
Otherwise. So you're also learning a lot from your story ambassadors as you're teaching them as well.
Yeah, huge. I mean, I grew up outside of Boston and didn't really have an understanding of what the city was and sort of who lived there. And I didn't necessarily get it from the steady diet of stories and images in the media. And I myself was guilty in the sense that I didn't get out of my bubble and explore it. But this project, through the story ambassadors, I've just seen essentially just a part of the city, many parts of the city that I never would have seen otherwise.
Definitely.
So sorry, back to your question.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so we essentially meet every month at the Tobin Community Center, which is where Carmen works out of in Mission Hill, which is a fantastic community center. It really is. A lot of spirit and a lot of heart, and they do great things. And we do practice interviews between us, and we talk about sort of the challenges of interviewing. And there are, I think, significant challenges always. Anxiety for me, even after many years doing interviews, and so we've sort of worked through that, I think. And we've essentially, I think in the beginning, the story ambassadors were very focused on their friends and family, and now we're sort of branching out and going into neighborhoods and doing sort of man on the street interviews, which has been, I think, super fun. I at least have had fun.
I want to share something that I think is very important. As an organizer, I have 4 children and 2 extra that I have raised. I call it kids. I never in my life had a camera. So if I take a picture, you come up without the head or without your legs. But Cara brought a teacher that took me to teach me how to take a picture. Now I'm an expert. And I'm saying this because I would like to encourage other community people not to put any fear on not knowing. We got a good teacher. We got a person that really cares about passing on her skills to us. And in any community, that is very necessary and important in order to have success with whatever you do.
Excellent.
And I
So
wanna
Carmen,
thank you.
definitely. So Carmen's now a photography expert. What about you, Gabbie?
Me, definitely not an expert, but
Yet.
I'm working towards it. But trying those the follow-up questions, right? So if you find a specific path that seems really interesting, so how do I get to that path in a way where that person can really set the scene and show you a time? So there's this one interview with Michelle from Dorchester. She was probably one of my favorite interviews. She started this program called Jump for Justice, and it's basically double Dutch. In Dorchester, she get all the community kids out to jump double Dutch. And so one of the things that that Cara taught me was about, so take me back there to that scene. So I learned to ask questions. So can you take me back to that day when you took out the ropes for double Dutch? And so that's just an example of how Cara's really teaching me how to ask questions and how to set the scene to really just bring us there to that moment.
Definitely. So how have you grown since, day one of being a story ambassador to write about now? How have you grown as an individual? How have you grown as, a story ambassador and a future journalist?
Well, yeah, it's learning how to ask questions. I'm a lot more confident. I'm practicing active listening a little bit more, and just trying to really hear people and asking those details, I think, is very important, because with those details and with setting the scene, that's where someone can really, empathize with someone else. So that's what we're trying to do, is create a place where people can read other stories or hear the stories and empathize with one another, and also so that we can grow as a community, as a Boston community in the whole.
Awesome. So I would love to hear from the three of you. What's the future of Everyday Boston? Where do you see this website going?
I know Carmen has ideas on this, so
I like to see, and I know I will see, that it will make a serious impact on our regular newspapers and television programs that has spent tons of money painting the communities we represent on their own imagination, because we don't see them, they imagine whatever it is that we're thinking of doing. But this project, by actually going to the people directly and having the people doing the talk for themselves, are going to revolutionize the girls, the Herald, Channel 5, 7, and 4, and so on. I believe that. I believe that I'm going to see that.
And that's why she's a community organizer.
Definitely. And in the last, few minutes that we have here, I'd love to hear, the future for you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Carmen's vision come true. But I also, I come from newsrooms. I love journalists. I'm fiercely protective of them and also fiercely, critical of newsroom culture in certain ways. So I would really like to see that this project not only builds bridges, builds bridges on a lot of different levels. I think as a team, we have come together and we, Carmen jokes about how, we're a family. It's actually not a joke. We, feels that way. So there's community being built that way, and in the communities between the story ambassadors and communities and me as a representative sort of the media. But I think also, I'd like to see partnerships with newsrooms. I'd like to see partnerships with schools. I'd like to see partnerships with universities. I think that if we can nail down this sort of model that it can be used for a lot of different purposes and not just to shift the narrative, which I think is really critical, but also to give people, from a lot of different backgrounds, a sense of ownership over the stories of their communities and sort of a tool that they can use in their professional lives.
Definitely. And Gabbie, real quick.
Yeah,
real
real quick. Yeah, so I agree with Carmen and Cara. We want to offer a counter-narrative. And again, we want to build these partnerships and bridges. And alluding to Carmen, we want to paint our own portraits of the community and invite others to help us paint with us. So it's something beautiful that we just want to share.
Excellent. So that's all the time we have. And I would love to thank Carmen, Cara, and Gabbie for coming on the show with us. And I wish you guys all the best of luck moving forward with Everyday Boston. And I encourage everyone to check out their page at Everyday Boston. Give them the website, of course.
It's on Tumblr right now, so it's everydayboston.tumblr.com. And
Definitely.
We're on Facebook at Everyday Boston Project.
And Instagram.
And Instagram, Everyday Boston.
So you can find them all over social media for sure, and definitely check them out. And up next we have Henry Parker with another interview.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, Eric Jones here, Membership and Outreach Director at SCATV, wishing you all happy holidays this beautiful season. Come on down to SCATV and get involved.
Hello everyone, it's Melanie Morris here, host of Bay State Biking News and anchor at SNN. And from my home to yours, I want to wish you the best holiday season ever and Happy New Year.
My name is Henry Parker of Henry Parker Presents, and I want to wish all of you happy holidays. Goodbye.
Hi everybody, we're wishing you a happy and safe holiday season. From all of us at Respond.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Henry Parker, and I'm here on the Somerville Line, and with us we have a very special guest, singer, songwriter, actress, all-around Renaissance woman, lovely Hoffman. Welcome to the city of Somerville.
Thank you for having me, Henry. It's great to be here.
And folks just saw your new video about Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about it. No, start off for those that aren't familiar. Would you give them a little bit of your background?
Well, my name is Lovely Hoffman. I'm a singer-songwriter, an actress, and the music video that they're going to see is, or they've seen, is called A Kwanzaa Song, and it's a song about the holiday of Kwanzaa, which is an African-American holiday.
Now, out of curiosity, what does Kwanzaa mean to you?
Kwanzaa to me means unity, it means faith, it means, it includes all of the principles of Kwanzaa, the Nguzo and Saba. So it means family, so.
Now, how did you get into the entertainment field? Because you have a serious, nice little list of accomplishments there.
Thank you. Well, I started to perform when I was really young. My parents are ministers, so I started singing in the church first. And from there, that was my platform,
Mhm.
my initial introduction to the stage.
Mhm.
And from there, I've been performing since.
Now, you've had a chance to, let me see if I get this right. The Color Purple,
Yeah,
Ain't Misbehaving,
yeah,
uh, Hairspray,
yeah,
Hair.
yeah.
Did I leave anything out?
A couple of others, but those are some of my favorite
Okay, now which,
shows.
any particular one's your favorite or stand out as such?
Well, I like them all for different reasons.
Mhm.
I like Little Shop of Horrors because it was a lot of fun on stage, just singing, being one of the women who would come out, basically storytellers of the show. So I really enjoyed that. I also was able to emulate some of my favorite performers, Tashina Arnold, Tisha Campbell, who were part of the original production of Little Shop of
Okay,
Horrors. So
okay. Now, you also have a vocal career, if I'm correct, right?
yes, sir.
And you've performed on stage with, was it T-Pain and Neo?
Yeah, those are some of the people I performed.
Okay.
I've shared the stage with. And
Now, how did that experience?
Well, it's great because for Neo specifically, he's someone who I really admire, his music, his artistry. So it was just great to be on the stage with someone who I really admired and look up to
Hmm.
as an artist.
Now, when Lovely's just chilling, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
Well, I'm kind of an old school head, and it varies. Whether it's Marvin Gaye, especially Nina Simone. I love her so much. I listen to a lot of her music. Yeah, a lot of just old school stuff. Roberta Flack, Mary J. Blige, you
Okay.
know. Yeah, it varies. Brandy.
Okay, now what's your take on some of the music that they have out today? Be
Well,
truthful now. The truth hurts the
well,
guilty.
That's a good question. I mean, I tend to I'm kind of like an old school head, so I like to listen to old school music,
Mhm.
old school R&B.
But in the entertainment field, you got to keep up with the times, though, right?
You do got to keep up with the times. But I'm into, like music that just kind of speaks about the human experience,
Mhm.
whether it was contemporary music now, whether it's, old school music. But I tend to listen to old school music because that's the kind of music I grew up with,
Mhm.
and I'm highly influenced by that music. But yeah, Mary J. Blige, I like her new song, Doubt, is kind of fly.
Mhm. Now, tell me, I know you're somewhat of a social activist. Tell us about that part of your career.
Well, I think for me personally as an artist, I feel like I'm a social activist because I represent the people when I sing, when I write music. And I feel like it's the responsibility of an artist to share the experiences of the people in the experiences of the time. So naturally, I am a social activist. I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, I'm an organizer, I'm an artist, I'm everything. So they go hand in hand, and the music I sing about speaks to the people and speaks about the experiences of the people, such as my Black Lives Matter music video.
Mhm.
That was a big success, and it actually won first place at the San Francisco Black Film Festival. It's been all throughout the country in New York. It's been featured in Chicago as an open night film at the Chicago International Film Festival for Social Change, the Roxbury Film Festival. So
Now, what is it like when you do body work like that and you go to these events, which are obviously massive,
yeah,
to hear your stuff out there?
yeah, it's very fulfilling, and it's also good to see how people are impacted by something that you felt so closely connected to, and that means a lot to you as an artist. So it's great to see that people are impacted and influenced by the art that I've composed.
I wish it all would go away, because it's crippling my faith. We've been let down again, but we're hopeful injustice will end. Black lives matter, I sing it loud through the tears in hearts that shattered. We matter. Black lives matter, we sing it loud through the tears in hearts that shattered. We matter. wish it all would fade away.
Now, did you ever think, when you composed that video, etc., that it would ever blow up that much, or?
No, when I actually wrote the song, I wrote it because it was out of a need for, therapy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I needed to write the song because it was just pressing on my heart to connect to the struggles of, our people. But I actually cried when I was in San Francisco. So.
I hope
Yeah,
you would.
I cried
That's
at
a
the
big
response.
Deal. Okay.
I cried at the response
Mhm.
and actually seeing on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
I actually cried because I was like, wow, like if you have something in your heart that you're really passionate about and you set a goal,
Mhm.
you can fulfill that goal.
Mhm.
Just work hard at it and keep pushing at it. Like, don't let anyone tell you can't do something. You can do it.
When you said,
Put your
I
mind
saw
to
it on
it.
the big screen, I said, wait a minute, Brandon, let me go out and buy a 52-inch TV, you know?
Yeah, but it was great.
Mhm.
It was great.
So, what other works do you have coming up?
Well, my Kwanzaa song, music video, was actually was just released today, so I'm really excited about that piece of work. I think it's important for people of African descent throughout the world, and African Americans as well, throughout the African diaspora, to celebrate Kwanzaa because it's a way to reconnect us to our roots, which is Africa, and to make us feel very prideful about, our accomplishments and our people, and it's just a way for us to reconnect to our families and our community. So.
It's a holiday, come on, celebrate and rejoice. It's Kwanzaa, spreading unity in our families and communities. It's Kwanzaa, because the legacy makes us so strong. Yeah. So let us come together to celebrate this season of Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa, it's time to celebrate and Nguzo Saba. On this day, we got Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kumba, Imani. That is what we need. We gather around today to reflect upon our past. We've come so far, remembering all of those who came before us on Kwanzaa. From Rosa to Malcolm to Dr. King and Turner. Yeah. From Du Bois to Ashanti Walla, we honor you on Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. So Saba, on this day, we got Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kumba, Imani. That is what we need. Night by night we light a candle, as we reflect on what it means to love. We got the red for the blood and black for us, and the green for the land, yes, for the land. It is Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It's time to celebrate. So Saba, on this day, Umoja, we need unity, self-determination, collective work and economic opportunity. Yeah, purpose is what we need, and creativity. Faith is what we really need.
back. So, with your Kwanzaa song, right?
Yes.
What is it like when you hear yourself? Or better yet, when you see yourself, like in some of your plays, performances?
In my plays or
Mhm.
the video?
Oh.
Just generally?
Yeah.
It varies. I'm very critical of myself, and I always want to, improve as a performer. So I'm always critiquing myself in my head, like, oh, I should have did this better. I should have did this. But I mean, overall, I put my all into everything that I do, my heart into everything that I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I leave it to the rest of the universe. So
That's a good way to take it. You can only control just so much.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
With your Kwanzaa song, right? You
Yes.
did one previous to that, didn't you?
That is the actual Kwanzaa song. I had the opportunity to record that this past October, November, and I shot the video the 26th of this month, the 26th of
Mhm.
November, actually, and we just finished editing the music video. So today was the actual official release date of the video.
Great. So we got it first.
You got it first, and Kwanzaa is really important, a very important holiday
Mm-hmm.
for our people. It was founded in 1966 by Dr. Mulana Karenga, and he created this holiday for us to just to reconnect to our history and our heritage, and the different principles of Kwanzaa: unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility. All those principles are things that are actually universal African principles, and those principles can keep us empowered as a people. So it's really important that we use this time of year to reflect upon those
And
principles.
the other thing I find interesting, a lot of other groups have picked up on it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Well, I've had a chance to go to some Kwanzaa celebrations in
Okay.
Cambridge,
Yes.
and a lot of the younger generation,
Uh-huh.
they're sort of hip to it. Whereas the
Kwanzaa?
yeah,
Yes, that's excellent. Yeah, it's very important for our
Mhm.
youth to be exposed to it, because they are the people who are going to be leading our people in
Right.
the future. So, yeah.
So, back to your vocal career. And do you have any plans for another CD or whatever to come out? Or
Yeah, right now I'm actually in the studio. I'm writing. I'm always writing music. So I have some things that are going to be released in the spring that I'm excited about.
Mhm.
Hopefully an EP will be released in the spring or early summer. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also working on a one-woman show.
Mhm.
I won't
we won't mention that. Just go
say
see
too
it,
much
folks.
about it. And you guys will be the first to know. I'll be
Okay.
here.
Now, have you ever thought about doing a gospel CD?
Gospel music. Well,
Seeing you have a background in that.
I do, but I don't consider myself necessarily I mean, I like gospel music, but I
Right.
see myself as someone who's more like universal, seeing how similar a lot of the belief systems are, as opposed to seeing how
Mhm.
different they are.
Mm-hmm.
So the music that I sing is universal. So I like the stuff that I'm doing now.
Mhm.
But of course, I'm always inspired by gospel music because gospel R&B was influenced by gospel music.
That's why I asked that question. So,
Yeah, but no, I don't see myself doing a gospel
Mhm.
album.
now, were your parents are ministers? Have they ever said, "Girl, why don't you do a gospel"?
Yeah, of course. My parents are very supportive, though, of the things that I've done, and they're still supportive of the things that I continue to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's no judgment there. I'm my own person. I have my
Mhm.
own way of thinking. Yeah, so I do love gospel music. I do like gospel music.
No.
There's a lot of power in it.
Now, what about? Tell me a little bit about your activism in the community.
Well, as an artist, I feel like I'm an activist because I get to sing about the things that matter to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're talking about Black Lives Matter, whether we're talking about Kwanzaa, which is important to
Mhm.
empower our people. But also, I'm an educator, so I work with our youth on a daily basis, teaching them about their beauty and their greatness.
Now, what age do you like any
Kids.
particular age?
Well, I work with middle school students, so I teach African studies and geography to 6th graders. But I also have the opportunity to work with 7th and 8th graders as well. We do a lot of community work, community service work in the community. And I also work with City Life Vida Urbana, which is a anti-displacement housing rights organization. And we do a lot of work around teaching tenants and homeowners their rights.
How do you find time to do all this stuff?
I know sometimes I don't understand. Sometimes I don't understand, but it's the Creator giving me the energy I need to do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Now, like I said, I asked you earlier about your involvement in housing. I
Yes.
find that interesting. Because you don't find too many folk that say, oh, I'm involved in housing issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's a huge epidemic, that a problem in our community around people not knowing their rights as homeowners or as tenants, but also about how people are being abused and taken advantage of as homeowners and tenants, especially when we look at like the predatory lending that's happening throughout our community with banks and giving people loans that they know that they can't afford.
just, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
for those that don't know, give them a small example.
Okay, well, your average person, your average traditional American loan for your average American would probably be, I don't know, 4%, 30-year, 4% interest rate, 30-year loan. Well, there was a period in time, and it's still happening. There's still a lot of victims of predatory lending where people are getting unconventional loans at like 20% interest rate, or two loans, one at 17% and one at 8%. And after a while, people can't afford these loans. They can't afford
So
the
they lose
loans,
their
so they end up
property,
losing
right?
their property as a result of that. And
So it's a vicious cycle.
it's a vicious cycle, and it's something that the banks are aware of, but that they do to particularly communities of color. And many of my friends and people that I know have lost their homes as a result of it, but there's also people who have stayed in their homes because the organization I work with, we taught people how to fight for their homes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting.
And
Wow.
also, we work with people who are tenants who are being taken advantage of by corporate landlords. So those are the things that, I do that inspire me as an artist to write, to sing, and to educate people about.
Now, just in case, give the address. How would they get in touch with these organizations for those that might be in need right now?
Well,
A quick shout out,
Yeah, you can look at City Life Vida Urbana. You can Google City Life Vida Urbana or go to clvu.org, and that's the housing rights organization that I do work with. And also, if you please check me out, my music, lovelyhoffman.com. You can also check me out on Twitter and on Facebook and Instagram, all your social networks.
Okay. Now, how does social networking affect the business aspect of your entertainment career?
Well, it's terrific because I get, with the push of one button, I can send something out to like over 1,000 people, and they can all check it out at their leisure, or they can give me feedback as to like what they like about the song, how they're inspired. Like today, I posted my Kwanzaa music video, and I got so much great feedback from a lot of friends and other performers and people in the community. So it's terrific, and it's also a way for me to learn about other artists that I'm unfamiliar with, and to get inspired by others.
It's interesting. Now, how about the business aspect of entertainment? Does that affect you at all?
I mean, there's always business and politics and anything that you do, but I just try to stay true to like
You're
my
more of
job
an
as
artist than a
artist. That's right.
right.
I just try to stay true to who I am as an artist and hope that everything else falls into place. I try not to get into all the politics. I don't do good with bad energy. I'm a person of really positive energy, and I just try to surround myself with people who do so. So I just try to stay true to my mission.
Now, how about traveling? How has that impacted your career?
Well, traveling has definitely opened my mind to the world, my worldview. I love traveling. I love meeting people who have different experiences.
Now, what about the music?
The music
music and
aspect.
dance, right?
I think that again, I learned that a lot of the struggles that I deal with and we deal with as a people, I realized that a lot of the struggles are not limited to the United States, but it's limited to other parts of the world as well. So it definitely inspires me when I write my music.
Now, before I forget, you're also a piano player there.
I play with the key. I like the keyboard and the piano. I do, compose.
Would that
I don't consider myself a pianist.
Would that be
I'm
on
a
the next
vocalist
CD?
first. What did you say?
Would that be on the next CD?
Yeah, when I write music, I do have to go to the piano. Just to help myself, to develop the song and what I'm looking for. When I was in college, I did study music. I was a music minor in college, so I've learned to use the piano to help me write music. So
That's great.
So some of the songs that you
That's
do
another
hear-
one of Lovely's hidden talents, right?
So a lot of the music that you hear is something that I've composed, and I've had some great musicians come in and make it do their magic. But yeah,
Now, is there any one thing you prefer more, Do you prefer acting or do you prefer vocals? Or
I love music is like my heart. Music is my home. Musical theater as well. I mean, I do love that as well. Performing, because a lot of times I get to tell different stories through music. So it all kind of connects. But I mean, I love performing. I love being able to like tell stories and empower people, and just to make people feel good and to connect with people.
And with that, it's about time to. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience?
Oh, of course, yeah.
All yours.
So please make sure you check me out on my website, lovelyhoffman.com. You can keep up to date with everything that's happening with me. I just released my music video called A Kwanzaa Song today. So check it out, share it with your friends, share it with your community, and give me feedback as to how you feel about it. And check me out on my social networks as well, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole nine.
Before I forget.
Yes.
How's Brandon doing?
He's fine. He's wonderful.
Because he is the one that sort of constructed your videos, right?
Yep, he was one of the directors of the video. Absolutely.
That's great. That's great.
He's wonderful. Yeah.
Now, do you find it tricky between having to work with him and being his wife?
you know, he's going to get you for that. He's going to get you for talking about him. I mean, sometimes, but like we've been together for so long. We're a team. So, I mean, we make it happen. He can be a little bit bossy sometimes, but it's fine. We make each other better. That's what's important.
That's all that counts. That's all that counts. So with that, I would say, you folks, I've enjoyed being here on the Somerville Line, and special shout out to Lisa Yvette Ball in the background, the director, Mary Beth Swan, Drew, cameraman over there, Jason Corey, back there running the, making his magic. Is Adam back there? Adam Stone. Special shout out to Erica Jones. Did I leave it? Oh, what's your name, sister?
Oh,
my. Chauvenet. Oh, and Crystal. 30 seconds. And while you're at it, watch Henry Parker Presents for whatever I got coming up. And with that, I am out.
Come on, celebrate and rejoice. It's Kwanzaa, spreading unity in our families and communities. Kwanzaa, because the legacy makes us so strong. Yeah. So let us come together to celebrate this season of Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It's time to celebrate and kuzo saba. Reflect upon our past, we've come so far. Remembering all of those who came before us on Kwanzaa. From Rosa to Malcolm to Dr. King and Turner. Yeah. From Du Bois to Ashanti Walla. We honor you on Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Saba. On this day. Umoja, Greetings and welcome to the Beautiful Me Club, where you can have yourself a ball, where you can find a lot of love. If you're stable, not so stable, whatever you have on your table, we're able to fix it, mend it, talk it out, cry it out, and shout. Leave your worries, me, girl, I'm trying to make it. I guess I am alright. Leave your money tight, my man ain't right out in the wind tonight. We came here to party, to smile, to get your me on for a while, to get your groove back, honey child. So get your cute on, let's get wild. And beautiful me baby, that's what I call myself. I leave my attitude on the shelf. It's about me and no one else but beautiful you baby. I'm talking dollars and not cents. It's not arrogance but confidence. So pick your head up and come on in. There's no drama, I'm saying, and no haters up in this spot. You treat it like the queen that you are. Here you walk the red carpet like a superstar. And beautiful you baby, and beautiful me too. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna party like tonight is through. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, yeah, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, beautiful you. Be excited, you're invited to take a part in our new spot. Here you're not judged by what you got. Everything and everybody here is hot, 'cause the beautiful me